So hi out there, all my FlossTube friends. This is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is December 31st, 2021 at approximately 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Coming to you today from the United States on the East Coast, and we're just under 6 hours away from the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Looking forward to another great stitching year, another great year here on YouTube, another great adventure year, some exciting updates and everything like that. Kind of potentially have a long one for you tonight that I'm not going to be adding a title screen to. I'm not going to be doing much of anything in the way of editing to this video, so what you see is what you get. I'm not going to apologize for any screw-ups or anything that I say wrong, or any swear words that I actually accidentally might throw in there tonight. This could be a little bit of a long one. I have some updates and some 2021 wrap-up notes to share with you, and some plans going into the new year in just under 6 hours. It's like about 6 hours and 40 minutes away, or 5 hours and 40 minutes away rather, to those of you on the East Coast of the United States. Those of you elsewhere who are already celebrating 2022, congratulations, and hopefully we're all going to have a better year going forward. So this is my channel where I talk about cross stitch. Again, I'm Tina. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and I talk about cross stitch, other crafts that I do, including diamond painting and some other stuff. This year coming up in 2022, I'm also probably going to be including some snippets of books that I am reading, because one of my goals for 2022 is to read more books. I have a lot of books to read. I like cozy mysteries. I like the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. And yes, her name is Gabaldon. It rhymes with stone. So if you need to, you can go ahead and Google how to pronounce Diana Gabaldon, because it is Gabaldon, rhymes with stone. So anyway, that being said, I did get the newest Outlander book for Christmas. Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone. Yes, Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone. That is the newest installment in the Outlander series. It came out in November, so that was under the tree for me this year. Excited to get into reading that. I do have to finish An Echo in the Bone and Written in My Own Heart's Blood. I do have to finish those two books before I actually get into reading Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, but I'm really excited. So far, I have reread most of the earlier books in this series probably at least 4 or 5 times. It's one of my favorite book series, so hopefully I'm going to be able to get more into those books this year, and really kind of maybe even consider rereading the entire series that's currently out. So anyway, got some plans and got some neat things for you, or neat things to talk to you about tonight. Those of you new to my channel, welcome. Hopefully you can find something here that will enable you, that will intrigue you, and that will get you to come back next time. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for coming back. It's always good to see friends, and hopefully we can become even better friends. As the new year goes along in 2022. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. I always love spending time with my friends here on FlossTube in the YouTube realm, and it's really great to be part of this group. So if you haven't already subscribed, I encourage you to consider hitting the subscription button below in the description box, and also clicking the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload new content. New year coming up in just under 6 hours, and my plans for 2023, or 2022 rather, sorry, I'm jumping ahead a year already. My plans for 2022, they're kind of going to be status quo here. I will try and get a video uploaded, either cross stitch or diamond painting, or maybe both, every 2 or 3 weeks on my channel, hopefully at least once a month. I can't guarantee more than that because I don't know the plans and what's going to happen with work. They're talking about potentially bringing everybody back into the office for work beginning of February. And that scares me about half to death because Ohio COVID case rates are exceptionally high. We hit 20,000 new COVID cases in 24 hours this past week. And I kind of keep track of all the new cases every day because, you know, it's in the news and stuff like that. And the fact that we're at 20,000 cases per day, the highest it's ever been. I don't think it hit 13,000 even in the highest part of the pandemic. You can hear my cat scratching in the cat box. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to get her out of there without freaking her the hell out. So anyway, Harvey, come here. Yeah, she likes to scratch a lot. But anyway, yeah, so work is talking about bringing everybody back into the office in February, and I frankly don't want to go. So I would rather stay working from home. So I might have to ask for special accommodations for me to go back into the office because I don't want to get COVID. I'm vaxxed and boosted, and I wear masks still everywhere I go. That's outside my house and where I'm around a lot of people. And I don't want to get COVID. I don't want to bring it home to Mom. I don't want Dylan to get sick. He's already potentially been exposed to it because he works with a lot of college-age kids, you know, young 20s, young 20-somethings. And at least 3 of his coworkers have it right now. And I'm just hoping that he hasn't been exposed and hasn't brought it home already and we just don't know it. I've been staying safe. I've been staying healthy. I haven't been feeling anything. So maybe I do have it and don't know it. Yes, I know you can get it being vaxxed and boosted, but being vaccinated and boosted will hopefully keep the severity of getting it from being too bad. I don't want to spend time in the hospital, and I certainly don't want to make my mom sick because with her age and her unknown health issues that she probably has, something like this could definitely kill her, and I'd rather have her around a few more years. That being said, I also don't know if Mom will be joining me on any videos in the new year. She had fun recording the Moe's Sale 12 Days of Christmas with me, so you might be able to see her. You might be able to see some of her progress and her sometimes in my videos. I film a lot of my videos down here in my basement. This is my office down here, my office area where I work at home, and it's hard for her to navigate stairs. So if I can, you know, maybe sometime go up into the craft room or maybe even to the sunroom, maybe we could do like a stitch along where, you know, we just sit and talk to you for an hour and stitch. Maybe we could do that when the weather is warmer and it's lighter up there in the evenings. But I also don't know what my work schedule is going to be like. So still kind of playing it by ear. Right now, I'm work from home until January 15th. After that, I have no idea. But I'm kind of hoping that because Ohio is one of the states in the U.S. that has the highest COVID case rates, I'm hoping that they keep us working from home for the long term, because there's really no reason for us to be in the office. We can do our job from home, and we've been proving that we can do it quite well from home. And there's really no reason for us to be in the office and being exposed like that. That kind of scares me, just being in the office, because our office building has about 4,000 or 5,000 people in it. And that is when we're full staffed. And I don't know if they're planning on keeping every other desk locked down, so to speak. You know, they put stickers on the desks, the red stickers, you're not supposed to sit at the desk, and it's every other desk. So like the cubicle right next to me has nobody in it, but the cubicles on either side of that desk, front and back, will have somebody sitting in it, and I will have a desk in between me and the person either in front of me or in back of me. So we're supposed to be staggered. The weeks that I've been in the office this year, July through November, I have been the only one in my entire aisle. And honestly, if I'm going to go back to back to work. That's really the way I prefer to do it. Anyway, so that's enough about work. Just wanted to say Happy New Year, everybody. I know some of you out there are probably still celebrating, and it might even be going on the 2nd of January for you. Congratulations. Welcome to the new year. We did it. I also heard, sadly, Betty White passed away today. We were all kind of hoping that she would make it to 100 years, but I heard she passed away today. From what I understand, it was natural causes. So the world is going to be mourning Betty White. May she rest in peace. And hopefully that won't be a precursor to what to expect in the coming year, the new year that's starting soon. Anyway, so in this installment of my FlossTube video, I'm going to be showing some new Christmas haul that I got. If you see me kind of looking this way, I have notes up on my other computer screen. I typed out my notes today on my computer because I couldn't find my FlossTube notebook. And it was just quicker because I could, you know, I type much faster than I write. Anyway, so I'm going to be talking about a little bit of... Oh, God, I got the hiccups now, too. I'm going to be talking about a little stitchy progress. I don't have much this week because if you look here, this is my December column. And look, I haven't stitched hardly any in probably 2 weeks. I haven't stitched much at all in 2 weeks. I just haven't been feeling the stitchy bug. This green area here, I was off this week. This is Christmas Day. The red one is Christmas Day. And I haven't been stitching much at all this year or this month. November was kind of slacking too. You see all those dates that I crossed out. November was pretty slacking too. So I haven't really done a lot of stitching since October. I just haven't really been feeling the stitchy bug. I stitched some here the first weekend in December because I was at the stitching retreat, so there is some stitching up there. But pretty much since the stitching retreat, I really haven't done a whole hell of a lot. I finished Cool Yule. I think I showed that in my last video. I'm not sure what I showed. But anyway, I'll be getting into some stitchy updates and 2021 wrap-up. And then I'm going to also be talking more about plans and stuff for the new year that starts tomorrow. All right, so I'm going to get into a little bit of... I'm going to be getting into a little bit of stitching haul. I have some of my stitching stuff in this Christmas craft bag that came from Joann's. This is one of those recycle Joann's Go Green bags that you can buy for like $1 or $2. I like these bags. I have probably 20 or 30 of them. I like them generally. So this is something that I saw at Five Below that my husband bought and stuck in my stocking. A lot of people are using these. This is a pen holder. A lot of people in the diamond painting community especially are using these to hold their diamond painting pen collections. I kind of wanted one, partly for my diamond painting pen collections, but also I might be able to use this for stitchy stuff. I don't know. But this one is black and pink, and it's got a, this is like a silicone insert, and you can stick pens and whatnot in here. So you just, you know, stick your pens. It's a little pen tray. We got it at Five Below. You can get them on the internet. But people use these for their diamond painting pens, so I got that for Christmas. This one is called a makeup brush holder, and I got it at Five Below. Or my husband got it at Five Below for me. So I got one of those. For Christmas, this was really a nice gift from Mom. Mom got me the Mill Hill Antique Keys Trilogy packs. So I have the winter key, I have the autumn key, and I have the spring key. There is no summer key, which is really kind of weird. It's a trilogy, so there's only 3. Maybe they'll be coming out with the summer key soon, but I don't know. So I got the Antique Keys Trilogy. These are going into my Mill Hill kits, and I'm hopefully going to be doing, I'm thinking about adding a second WIPGO board. with Mill Hill kits, because I think I have enough Mill Hill kits that I can make a whole another WIPGO board, and then I can just work on Mill Hill kits as well as my other plans. So I might be doing that later. Okay, so some of you who watch other FlossTube videos may know that there is a designer and store for stitchy goodness called the Black Needle Society, and they put out boxes every year. They're subscription boxes, and they're really hard to get on the subscription box list. A lot of times they'll take the extra stuff from their stitching subscription boxes and put them up in their vault for sale. And I was looking on there early December to see what was in their vault. And there was a couple of things in there from a couple of recent past boxes that I snagged because I really wanted these out of those boxes and I wasn't sure I'd be able to get them. The first thing is this planchette little wood thing. The planchette is from a Ouija board. So I got the planchette. Now this is a 3" by 3" piece of wood, and you can see that there is little holes right here at 2 and 2.5 inches. Those are so you can figure out the starting spot if you stitch starting in a corner on your cross stitch pieces. So if you had a 3" margin, you just put this up in the corner of your fabric, and then you can start. Your first stitch would be somewhere down near this point. If you wanted 2.5 inch, if you had a 2.5 inch border, your starting spot would be somewhere in this circle. And if you wanted a 2" border, it would be somewhere in this circle. So this is to help you figure out your starting spot on your fabric, depending on the amount of border you have for your fabric. I suppose if you had a 1" border, you could also flip it up this way and put this up in the corner of your fabric and figure out your 1". But this is kind of a cool little tool to put in my toolbox. One of the other things that the Black Needle Society had in a recent box was this deck of cards. These are really cool, and I really wanted this. I was really hoping that somebody who got the box, the subscription box this was in, would offer it for somebody, because I really wanted these cards. I'm in a lot of Facebook challenge groups, and there's just sometimes when I don't necessarily want to participate in a challenge, and they had a 52 card deck called the Stitching Challenge Deck. BNS is Black Needle Society, and it's just a stack of cards. There's 52 cards in this stack, and they have different stitching challenges in it. This one, for instance, you flip it over, it says stitch on a piece for Christmas or winter. Stitch on a piece for Halloween or fall. Stitch on a piece you want to finish by the end of the year. Different things like that. So if you're having a stitching block and you're trying to figure out, what you can stitch on in any given month, and you're kind of in a slump, you can use your stitching challenge deck to determine what you work on for that time. Now, initially I thought it might be kind of fun to pull one of these every week for the year. There's 52 cards, so you have 52 stitching challenges that you can participate in. This one is stitch on a piece with food. So, you could do the cookie exchange by hands-on design, that kind of thing. Stitch on a, another one is stitch on a piece with a charm or button. So you could do like Mill Hill kits with buttons, anything like that. So like if you're having stitchy block, which if you remember seeing my December, where is it? Here it is. If you remember seeing my December stitch tracker with nothing in there, I could have probably used these to get some motivation to get my stitching finished for the year. So this was a really great thing, the Black Needle Society Stitching Challenge Deck. I'm looking forward to using this. I don't know if I'm going to be using this year. I know I'm not planning on using one the first week, starting tomorrow. And I don't know. You might see this come up randomly in my YouTube videos coming up in 2022. So one of the other things that Mom got me, she got me some Bowen needles. These are beading needles. I haven't used Bowen beading needles before, but I got quite a bit of them, and it's not, there we go, sewing beads. There is 10 sewing beading needles in here, so I got some beading needles, so that is really good. One of the Facebook challenge groups, one of the other things that I'm hoping to do this year is read more books. And one of the Facebook challenge groups that I'm in, Magical Stitches, they're doing a murder mystery clue kind of game this year. And we're also reading a series of embroidery cozy murder mystery books. And the author that they picked this year is Mandalee. So I got... this is the first book in the embroidery mystery, The Quick and the Thread. We will start reading these books in February because there are 10 of them. So we will not have a book in January and a book in December. So I got the first book, actually the first 3 books in the series to go along with my stitching Magical Stitches mystery year for 2022. So I got the first 3 books in the series. So that'll be really nice. I went into Cross My Heart, my local needlework shop here in... So sorry about that. I actually put my bag from Cross My Heart down on my keyboard, and it stopped the video recording. But anyway, the week of Christmas that I was off, Mom and I headed over to Cross My Heart the Wednesday before Christmas, and I did a little shopping while I was at Cross My Heart. So one of the things that's coming that I do not have, I have it on order. Back at the Stitching in the Springs retreat, I don't know if you'll remember that I got the Zucca pumpkin, and I got the Live and Die in LA flosses to do the Zucca pumpkin. Live and Die in LA is a new fabric and floss dyer. That is her business, but the lady that dyes the fabric and floss sent a bunch of stuff over to the Stitching in the Springs retreat that Mom and I went to at the beginning of the month for a kind of a trunk show sale. So I ended up picking up quite a bit of the Live and Die in LA stuff. These were the 2 colors that I'm going to be doing the pumpkin in, and I ordered the milk chocolate, I think it's either Weeks or Zweigart fabric for this, because I wanted a brown fabric that's going to make the colors just pop. And the picture on this is really kind of weird because it looks variegated, but they only use 2 colors of DMC in the pattern. So yeah, so I am going to be doing it using the Brave, and I forget this green color that's on here. I can tell you in just a second. It's Brave and Noxious. So I'm going to be doing that pumpkin when I get the fabric in. This is probably going to be a new start for 2022 rather. I also picked up, I got on the list for the Cottage Garden Samplers, A Year in the Woods. I picked up the first one, the Fox. I kind of wish these patterns were a little more thing. My pattern got a little bent. But I did pick up the Fox. I am in the list to get them all. So this is the first one. I know the second one I think is out already. I don't know if Cross My Heart has them in stock. But hopefully I will be getting the second one soon. But I do have the Fox, and I do plan on getting the rest of them. This Fox is stinking cute. If it weren't for the Fox, I probably wouldn't have even jumped on this bandwagon. So I got that. I picked up a Jim Shore Mill Hill kit. This is Snowman with Cocoa. So I have this other Jim Shore Snowman kit. It has all the beads and baubles and everything in it. And it comes with white perforated paper. So I'm looking forward to starting stitching that. So that'll go with my other mill hills. And I think that's it. Yep, those are my needles from Mom. Sorry about that, you guys. All right. So a couple months ago, you probably remember that I showed some scroll frame bars that I got from the yarn shop that was the yarn store that was next to Cross My Heart here in Columbus, Ohio. The owners were retiring, so they were closing up their shop. And they carried some needlepoint type of things in there too. So they carried some, you know, wool flosses and some other stuff that you could use for needlepoint, and even some needlepoint canvases. But their main source was knitting and crocheting supplies, like, you know, fancy yarns and stuff like that. So when I was in there right before they closed, I picked up several different sizes of scroll frame bars, including like 4-inch scroll frame bars, and 6-inch and 8-inch and 10-inch and 12-inch scroll frame bars, so I could have a little thing. The only problem is I didn't have the stretcher sidebars for the scroll frame rods. I now have a set of 9-inch extension bars, extender bars, for my scroll frame things. I got these at Cross My Heart. I can get smaller ones as well, but I went with these ones. And I think I can also get 12-inch, but I went with these ones because I think these will give me a nice size for my smaller projects that I'm going to be using. This is the hook and loop or base mounting system. You can't call it Velcro, it's called hook and loop because Velcro is copyright. So it's hook and loop. And I plan on taking off the basting strip that you're normally supposed to sew your projects to for your scroll frames on your scroll rods. And I'm going to be removing the basting strip and replacing it with the Easy Stitch hook and loop basting system that uses Velcro, hook and loop, to attach the fabric to. So I got this extension bars. That's from that. Alright, so I also recently got the newest issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine, and also the newest issue of the World of Cross Stitching magazine. These came this last week. The World of Cross Stitch magazine has the third and last installment of the Holiday Home 3D houses. I'm going to be working on those this year because I think they're cute as heck. The Just Cross Stitch magazine has a few really cute pieces in it. They're gearing up for Valentine's Day. So, like, here's a Valentine Village. But they're gearing up to Valentine's Day because it's almost that. Coffee is my Valentine. That's really cute. Cardinals. There's this Cardinal Biscornu. That is pretty darn cute. I might actually have to stitch up a Biscornu this year. I have a few Biscornu patterns in my stash now, and I've been wanting to try that. This one is really cute, winter white. This looks like this would stitch up really quick, and it also has some of the Aurora Borealis behind it. That is the Northern Lights that come down from the Canadian area. Hopefully one of these years I'll be able to see the Northern Lights here in Ohio. We've had a couple of opportunities recently, but either it's been too overcast and cloudy for us to see it. But anyway, those are the two most recent magazine issues, magazines that I got in the mail. The World of Cross Stitch and the Just Cross Stitch, the newest issues. Alright, I think that does it. Well, no. So for Christmas, I ordered Mom and I these project bags from Goose Designs. Let me take my project out of here. I'm going, well, I won't get into that just yet. So I ordered these off of Goose Design. I ordered Mom and I the same one, so we could be twins. These are just their typical vinyl front project bags. I'm going to take this out of here too. This one is the Gingerbread House. Look how cute that is, you guys. And I ordered for $35. You can actually get the thread beds to go with it. So I got the matching Gingerbread Thread Bed. So this is just some felt or interfacing type stuff that she sewed a heart onto. You can put your needles through the heart, and then this fabric will, your threads, your loose threads will stick to it, and you can fold it up and it'll snap shut. So you got it to put in with your projects in your project bag. And one of the other things that this came with was a floss bobbin from the Fat Quarter Shop. We got a Christmas floss bobbin as a little extra doodad. But anyway, the little thread bed matches the project bag. So this is my first thread bed that I've gotten. So anyway, Goose Design. You can get project bags from them here. And here's their information. Goose Design, Denise and Miss Gracie. Project bags on Etsy. And I think this is the third or fourth, maybe the second or third project bag that I have from them. And I really like them. These vinyl front project bags are kind of nice. I got the pumpkin ones for last year. But the piece that's in here is the blue flower Christmas cap. I pretty much have everything to do it in here, and I think I'm probably going to just stitch this up really quick. I was going to do it the week before Christmas. As you can see, I didn't do any stitching the week before Christmas, but anyway, this is the project that I have in here. This, I believe, is an 8x8 Q-snap. This is one of the ones from Michaels, the knockoff Q-snaps. And as you can see, the 8x8 fits in here just perfectly with extra room. So that's from Goose Design, and that pretty much about well does it for all my stitching haul this week. So I have all this stuff that I need to take upstairs. I'll be waiting on fabric. One of the other things that I ordered, so one of the Facebook challenge groups, they're doing a stitch along for Magic Study, which is a Heaven and Earth Designs pattern. Full coverage pattern. They're doing a stitch along for it starting tomorrow, and I had the pattern in my stash already. Either it was a limited edition release from Heaven and Earth Designs this last year, so I picked it up. I don't have any fabric for it, so I went ahead 2 or 3 days ago, I think, and ordered the 32 count easy count fabric, the Lugana, I think it is, from 123 Stitch. I think that's where I got it. And I'm waiting for that piece to come in so I can actually start the stitch along with everybody in the Pop Culture Stitching Challenge group. They're doing the Magic Study Haid Sal starting tomorrow. So I have that coming. All right. Other than that, I really don't have a whole lot. I don't have much more haul to share with you. That can go in there. Sorry, that can go in there. All right. Those are going to stay down here. Okay. Just making sure that I have nothing else to show you for hallways. Nope, that's it. All right, so we are going to get into a little bit of Stitchy Progress and 2021 wrap-up right now. So 2021 was a pretty okay year. I don't have numbers as far as stitchy numbers. I still have to compose all my stitchy numbers and put them in my my planner for last year. This is my 2021 planner. I use a Passion Planner. I have used Passion Planners since they were on Kickstarter probably 5 or 6 years ago. I like them. They work for me. I know people are having issues with them this year. I haven't been having issues with them, so I got another one for 2022. But oh, that one I can mark off. All right, so here's my WIPGO board. I participated in WIPGO 2022. I didn't finish this one. I didn't finish this one, and I didn't finish this one because I wasn't stitching. The two green ones, 500 stitches or 1,010 on a new start of your choice, and work on a 40 count gauze project. I didn't work on either of those in December, so I didn't get them done. I didn't do any of them throughout the year either. The Grim Grinning Ghost Sal, I didn't finish any of it or any part of it, so I didn't get that done. And this one was one I completed. Hate or full coverage, 500 stitches. I did, I forget, Hidden Harbor or something, and I completed that. So, yeah, so for my WIPGO board, the end of the year, I had 3 spots that I didn't complete. I didn't give myself any reward for completing and getting bingos and whatnot. I got a lot of bingos. I got that bingo. I got that bingo. That bingo. Didn't get that one. Oh yeah, I did get that one. I got that one. Didn't get that one. Didn't get that one. Didn't get that one. Didn't get that one. Yeah, so I had some good luck with WIPGO this year. I think I did better this year than I did last year. And I am participating in 2022 WIPGO again. So in my plans, you'll see that. For my other stitching progress, I have WIP tracking. So you see here, these are all the WIPs that I worked on for 2022, and I've been keeping track of the stitches each month. As you can see, I haven't filled anything in since June. And I have a second page up here. I still have to add in a lot of stitching that I completed. So once I get that completed, I'll be able to tell you what projects I worked on and how much I completed. But so I still have to finish that up. I'm going to be doing that this week, hopefully. Hopefully you can see that. Also in my planner, you know, I sort of participated in Semi-Sane Stitchers, Stitchopoly, and Trivial Pursuit, Stitch Mall Pursuit. Those were my boards. That's pretty much it for that. So yeah, I have a little bit of wrap up to do for 2022, or 2021 rather. Oh, I'm getting the years all screwed up already, and it's it's the last day of the year. But yeah, so I have my tracking sheets where I kept on my clipboard, and I tracked a lot of the challenges that I do. I have to keep stitch counts, so I keep track of what I work on and how many stitches I do each night generally on here. So the middle of the year, I was pretty busy. I was a stitching fiend the middle of the year, keeping track of different things. And here's the second half of the year, July through September. Look at that. I mean, there's a lot of stitching going on there, and then this as well. So this sits by me on my my clipboard. I have my clipboard ready to go for tomorrow. Here is 2022. I'll get more into the clipboard thing, but there's like challenge trackers and calendars and stuff that I have on here, so I can keep this handy near my stitching spot as I need it. But I'll get into that in plans. All right, so I will have a 2021 final wrap up probably sometime by mid-January. I'm also hoping to do a WIP parade for you mid-January. I'm in the process of getting cards made for my pieces. Unfortunately, I am finding that I was lacking severely in writing down when I started pieces and that way I could know like how old my WIPs are. It's kind of an important thing to know. I know some of them, but I don't know all of them. And I need to be 100% better about doing that. So that is one of my New Year plans, is to be better about keeping track of when I start projects and all the information that goes along with that, like what fabric I use, what floss I changed out, what the stitch count is, who the fabric is from, because I don't know some of that either. I have a hair in my mouth. Yeah, sorry about that. I have a hair in my mouth. But so I am needing to really get on track on the ball about doing that in 2022. So but yeah, so here's a better updated WIPGO board. So you can see the only 3 that I had left were those 3, and I didn't get them done. So this is where my WIPGO ends for 2021. All right, and that's pretty much it. So now I'm going to get into yearly plans and some exciting updates and everything for 2022 and the month of January that starts in, oh look, it starts in 5 hours, you guys. 5 hours! It's almost 5, it's almost 7, it's like a minute before 7 o'clock. 5 hours! It's 5 hours till New Year's. Hope you're getting your snacks and stuff together. We're just going to hang out, have snacks tonight, chips, dips, you know, cookies and veggies and dips and champagne and, you know, just stuff tonight. So we're just going to hang out and stay at home. It's just going to be Dylan and I and my mom. So anyway, on a side note, for my plans for 2022, one of my goals this year in the new year is to read more books. I don't know how many books I do plan on reading, but I think I've read 5 this year. No, I don't even think I've read 5. I don't think I've read 3. It might have only been 2, and I don't think I finished 1. I don't think I finished a book this year. You guys, I have to get on the book thing, because I have these 3, February, March, and April. So hopefully I'll finish these 3, February, March, and April. But I have the Outlander books that I need to get to. I have a bunch of cozy mysteries. And I've kind of been half following Pop Sugar reading challenge. There's another reading challenge in the Magical Stitches mystery group. They are doing, did I write that? No, I did not. But they are doing a book challenge where every month they have a group of 4 books to read. For January, it's books having to do with N, the letter N as in Nancy. So one of the prompts in there is a book that has the word novice in the title, or a book whose author begins with author's name begins with the letter N. Nora Roberts comes to mind, you know, Nicholas, somebody comes to mind, those kind of things. So my goal is to read more books this year. I'd like to say I'm going to read 12 books. That's a book a month. I'd like to say I could read 50 books. There's a 50 book reading challenge. 52 books would be a book a week. I don't think I'm going to be doing that on top of everything else and on top of, you know, life and on top of work and all that. But I'd like to read more books this year. So I think I'm probably going to do 10 books. 13. I'm going to do 13 books. I have the 10 books for the Magical Stitches Mystery Facebook group, because there's 10 books in that series, so I'm going to have those 10. And I'd like to for sure finish reading the last 3 Outlander books. An Echo in the Bone, Written in My Old Heart's Blood, and Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone. So I have at least 13 books on my list. And in my new planner, this is my new planner for 2022. Have I put that in here yet? No. I don't have my reading tracker in here. I do have my WIPGO board for 2022, which I will get into. This is my WIPGO board for this year, including the first 2 squares that have been called. But anyway, so I have a reading tracker to put in there. News. I have some news, you guys. So the beginning of December, you remember I went to the Stitching in the Springs retreat in Yellow Springs, which is about an hour west of Columbus here. While I was at Stitching in the Springs retreat, surprisingly to me, I got my StitchCon invoice. I don't remember if I had told you. I got an invoice to go to StitchCon for 2022. Those of you that are new here and don't know what StitchCon is, Keepsakes, which is a local needlework shop down in Cincinnati, in the Cincinnati area here in Ohio, Keepsakes decided about 3 or 4 years ago to come up with this right about June stitching retreat for Flosstubers and their fans. It's called StitchCon. And they started it out, and it was probably maybe 100 people the first year. The second year was over 400 people, and it's been approaching 600 to 1,000 people. Well, they couldn't do it in 2020 because of the pandemic. So 2020 StitchCon was canceled. 2021, they decided to split it up into 2 weekends. So they could have 300 attendees the first weekend and 300 attendees the second weekend. Their wait list to get invoiced for StitchCon has been in the thousands. There's thousands of people that are trying to get on the wait list for StitchCon. The last 3 years, 19 and 20, I was invoiced to go to StitchCon in 2019 and 2020. Due to just whatever circumstances, I had to cancel my invoice, so I was not able to pay the invoice to reserve my spot to go. So this year, I had been kind of waffling back and forth about putting my name on the wait list. And I was like, you know what? They had announced as soon as they opened registration for StitchCon and the wait list, they were full already, and they had enough paid attendees that they only had maybe 4 or 5 spots for each of the 2 weekends. They're doing it 2 weekends again this year. It's in June. Weekend B is June 16th through 19th. If you're not on the wait list for this year, they don't have a wait list. The wait list has been closed. So there's probably no chance of getting invited to come to StitchCon for 2022. I got my invoice the weekend I was at the Stitching in the Springs retreat. I was so shocked. StitchCon is going to be about 400 to 500 people at this stitching retreat. The stitching retreats that I've been to have been less than 75 people at the stitching retreats. Camp GottaStitch this year was only 30. So Stitching in the Springs was about 30. So StitchCon is going to be the biggest stitching retreat I've ever been to. I decided that I would pay the registration fee and go to StitchCon. So I am paid for StitchCon 2022. I am doing weekend B, which is June 16th through 19th, and I am staying at the Late Night Stitching Hotel. So if you're involved with StitchCon, and you know that the stitching room that's open in the convention center is only open, a certain amount of time. And then after it closes, I think around 10 p.m., everybody gathers at this other hotel and stitches until the wee hours of the morning. I'm staying in that hotel, so I'm excited. I have my hotel room reserved. Now all I got to do is wait until after tomorrow so I can get the time off from work. But I am going to StitchCon 2022, Weekend B. I will be there June 16th through June 19th. My plan is to drive down there after work on Thursday and come home on Sunday. So I probably won't be getting down there until 9 or 10 o'clock unless I decide to take Thursday off. I'm taking Friday off, but if I decide to take Thursday off, then I'll probably leave sometime after lunch and get down there early afternoon so I have time on Thursday to stitch. I don't know yet what my plans are going to be, but I am going to StitchCon 2022. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to meeting some people. I know Gary and Ronnie from GaRon Tottenbags will be there. I've met Gary. Gary was out in California when I was out there in 2019 helping my mom when my stepdad passed away. There's a local Facebook group called Southern California Stitchers, and they had meetups at that point in time about every weekend at some location in Southern California. And Mom and I went to one of the ones at a Panera near her house that was out there. And Gary from GaRon Tottenbags in Florida was there because he was on a business trip out in California, and he showed up to the thing. So I got to meet Gary from GaRon Tottenbags, but now I get to meet Ronnie from GaRon Tottenbags. I'm excited. I can't wait. Ronnie, can't wait to meet you. The Stitching in the Springs retreat that I went to earlier this month, I met Sammy J. Stitches from Texas. It was really great to meet her. I've been, kind of watching her videos for quite a while. It was really great to meet her. She and I talked a little bit about StitchCon and about how different it is compared to some of the smaller retreats. And I decided that, you know what, I'm going to go this once. I have the opportunity to go. My husband said I could go. I'm going to go this once just to get the experience and just to meet some more of the Flosstubers that I've been watching. And see, I met Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching because I stopped into Keepsakes on my Arkansas trip in October when I went down there for my niece's wedding. And I met Stephanie back then, so it'll be nice to meet her mom, and it'll be nice to just meet everybody else that's going. So that's exciting. Other retreats coming up, we have Camp GottaStitch, which is at the end of September. That's the retreat that's hosted by my local needle workshop here in Columbus, Cross My Heart. It's back up in Amish country this year. So I will put Cross My Heart's information down below so you can call them up and see how you can get on their mailing list for Camp GottaStitch, but that's coming at the end of September. Stitching in the Springs retreat, the one that I went to the first weekend in December, is happening again next year. It is now the beginning of November, so they've moved it up. Registration has now opened for it. I will put the information for the Stitching in the Springs retreat down below as well. And that's a nice small one. There won't be more than, there probably won't be more than about 50 people or so, 40 or 50 people, because the hotel that the Stitching in the Springs retreat is at only has 28 rooms. You can stay nearby and get day passes. That's always an option. But it's a nice little boutique hotel. It's really kind of cool. So a couple of people had indicated this year that they couldn't go because the retreat was so close to Christmas. So she bumped it a month earlier. So hopefully more people can attend, but that'll be fun. I'm planning on going to that. I've already got my registration and my hotel room paid for that. And that is it for retreats. So I'm going to StitchCon, I'm going to Camp GottaStitch, and I'm going to Stitching in the Springs. Looking forward to those retreats next year. So now we'll get on to some plans and just some general things. There are several Facebook groups, as I said, that I've been kind of participating in these last few years. I will kind of gloss over a few of the events that are going on in them. So the first one is Magical Stitches Mystery. I already told you that we are reading the Amanda Lee Embroidery Mystery series in there. The reading for those books starts in February, but they're doing a yearly stitching challenge where they have the stitching 1,000, I think it's 1,000 stitches for every needle workshop that's in every state in the United States. And the goal is to see how many states you can finish. So I originally was going to start with the states with the lowest stitch count, but I decided that I'm going to stick with Ohio, stitch around Ohio, and then I'm going to do the states around Ohio and then see how many other states where I have relatives living that I can finish. So I'm going to be doing like, Kentucky and Indiana, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Illinois, all the states around here, and basically all the states I could drive to within about a day. And then I'm going to include California and Florida because I have family living there. Colorado, I have family living there. And I should add Wyoming to it because that's where I went to college. And I want to take my husband on a road trip there. Let's see. So there's the yearly stitching challenge. They're also doing the random DMC challenge. They've picked 52 DMC colors, and your whole goal is to start with the first color, stitch 100 stitches in that, and move to each of the 52 colors throughout the year. So you can do it weekly, you can get them boom, 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 you can knock them all out. Some people are starting a sampler where they're choosing those colors to go in their sampler, and they'll just stitch with them in their sampler and do that. I thought about doing that too. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'll be doing that. They're also doing, for January, since we're not reading any books, they have just generic tasks. So when we start reading the books in February, they'll pick prompts based on the books we're reading for every week. So the first week, from the 1st till the 9th, is your newest WIP. The second week is your oldest WIP. The third week is your most colorful WIP. And the fourth week is the WIP that you have the most stitches already stitched in. So I have one WIP that I could probably do for all those. All right, so the next, then there's the Stitching Estate Retreat. So the whole goal behind Magical Stitches Mystery this year is we're playing the game of Clue. And we have suspects and weapons and rooms and projects, I guess is what you'll call them. And you have to determine who murdered the victim. And it's based on Clue, but you know, you have different things that you're trying to earn. So this month is the Stitching Estate Retreat. We have several goals, like checking into the hotel, getting our stuff up to our room, sitting in our room and stitching our room number. They gave us a room number, so we're stitching our room numbers. We have to complete all those through the month of January in order to kind of continue in the game. Magical Stitches used to have homework, and it used to be graded. The admins are loosening that up this year. They're not grading anything, so it's kind of a I forget the exact word for it, but you're kind of on your own for proving that you finished it. But it's a whole goal to figure out who done it at the end of the year. Then there's Books and Stitches. Books and Stitches is where you every month they pick a book, you read the book, and you stitch. So you can either do your books or do your stitches based on the book theme, based, you know, on something in the book, whatever. They're doing this weekend, starting tomorrow, they're doing the January Weekend Challenge, which is a new start. I don't know if I'll do that. They're doing the 80s A to Z Reading Challenge from January to December. They have 26 books listed in the event, and your goal is to read through the alphabet. They're also doing, for January, they're doing the Counting Timing Theme Challenge. The book that they're reading for Read and Stitch this month in January is Elfin by Quinn Loftus. It was published in the year 2012, so your goal for the month of January is to stitch 2012 full cross stitches on your book and read and or listen to Elfin by Quinn Loftus. That is in addition to the A to Z reading challenge. So that could be another book. So I'm potentially up to 14 books. So add another 11 books to that total that I gave you of 13, and you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So then there's Stitch Talk Heaven and Earth Design Challenges, Stitch Talk Hade Challenges. It's a group started by Portia Parcher, and she is the kind of creator of the 100 Days of Heaven and Earth Designs, where you get one Heaven and Earth design full coverage pattern and you stitch on it for 100 days straight. She is doing that twice again this year. The first round starts January 1st. The second round starts August 1st. She's also doing the 2022 Capital Stitch Journey, where you stitch between the state capitals based on when the states became part of the Union here in the United States. You're starting in Washington, D.C. She has all the different cities and how far it is to travel to them, and you stitch that, and there you go. She's also doing Stitch Across the Galaxy, which is very similar, where you're stitching the distance between the planets. And then she's having monthly challenges. So the monthly January challenge is a Move and Stitch challenge. It just encourages you to get up and do 30 minutes of exercise every day and stitch. So you get to track your progress. All right, so WIPGO 2022. WIPGO It's probably easier to show you on here. WIPGO, this is my challenge tracking clipboard. It's easy for me to carry this around. Let me just pull these off of here. Let's set this aside. Alright, so my WIPGO 2022 board. This is what it looks like. So I have my projects in the main square, and then I have my goals in this square here. I have a space for the month it was called and a space for the month it was finished. So January, we have square number 2. My square number 2 is Glendon Place Fudgy Mint Mousse. My goal on that is 1,000 stitches. So I have to put 1,000 stitches in Glendon Place's Fudgy Mint Mousse. And square 19 is Stonehearth Hutch, which is from Just Cross Stitch magazine, I believe. And my goal for that is also 1,000 stitches. So I have those marked on my board. Can't really start that until 12:01 p.m. tonight, or a.m. rather, 12:01 a.m. tonight. But my January goals are Fudgy Mint Mousse by Glendon Place and Stonehearth Hutch. So I'm going to be posting that. That is WIPGO. She's supposed to be coming out with the WIPGO weekends. I don't know when the WIPGO weekend for January is just yet. I haven't checked. Another group that I'm in is Pop Culture Stitching Challenges. They're hosting the Magic Study year-long sale. I think I have shown you, or I think I have told you already about the sale for that Magic Study. I've ordered the fabric for it. I don't have the fabric on hand. The one that they're doing isn't the version of it that I have on hand. I might order the rainbow version. I haven't 100% decided. I do have Magic Study. There's 2 versions. There's Magic Study and then Rainbow Magic Study. Okay. So this is Magic Study. I have the limited edition one. It's not the rainbow one. This is the Sal. So I'm going to be hopefully working on that when the fabric gets in. They're also doing January box office hits, where you stitch something relating to the top grossing movies from 1992 to 2016. They're doing an acrostic. The January acrostic is the word resolution. So you have to stitch projects based on the word and pick them out. In 2022, they're doing how many can you do, which you just count up all your stitches through the year, and that's how you keep track of it. Then they're also doing the ABCs of stitching, 4 tiers of stitching to go through the alphabet with your whips, and January fun facts. International Hermit and Stitch Weekend, that is where you just, curl up in your best pajamas and stitch as much as you can that weekend. That is happening January 20th through 23rd. All these Facebook groups that I talked to you about, I'm going to be putting down below in the description box. I'll be putting the links to them down here for you. Let's see. Stitching Book Club, they're making an announcement tomorrow. Don't know what's going on with that. It's kind of similar to Books and Stitches, but they pick a book, and the person that runs the group kind of designs a special stitch along chart for it, and it's free, and you read the book and do the stitch along. Full coverage Fanatics, they're doing 22,000 stitches in 2022 on one full coverage project. Bike Around Germany, Whips and Wonders Challenge, which you do 5,000 stitches for each of the 20 wonders. They're doing Eras in History. January is the prehistoric era. And they're doing Scavenger Hunt Weekend, January 14th through 17th. So that's what's coming up with that. Now, a lot of these ones, I'm still considering whether or not I'm participating. I'm probably doing the 22,000 in 2022 22 on one project in full coverage Fanatics. I have a couple of full coverage pieces that I'd like to get working on. Semi-sane Stitchers, I'm going to try and remain active in that group this year. Snowball Fight is coming up. January Focus, Get Fit and Stitch is the January monthly thing, and they're also doing This or That this year. January's This or That is the word January or a winter themed project. Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge group. That's the one where they'd like you to kind of focus on some magazine charts that you have, but you can use other non-magazine charts as well. They're doing Bingo, which is a bingo thing, but it's they pick for the first 25 days of the month. They pick a number on the bingo board, and that's the project you work on. And you have until the end of the month to complete it all, but so you have like the last 5 or 6 days of the month to complete it. But Bingo is going on. Their theme this month is New Start, so pick a magazine project that you want to start and start it. And the acrostic for this month is Bingo. Let's see. Virtual Stitchers, they're still doing virtual Zoom meetings several nights a week. Most people are on there, so if you're interested, you can join Virtual Stitchers and do Zooms. They're pretty fun. A lot of discussing goes on. Some stitching gets done, whatever. Let's see. We have So You Think You Can Stitch. I haven't noted any challenges for that group yet. Enchanted Stitching Challenges. The lady that coordinated the Stitching in the Springs retreat, I believe that is her group, Enchanted Stitching Challenges. They're kind of Disney based, so I haven't actually checked into that group recently to see. The Sunshine Stitchers, which is Gary from GaRon Tottenbags, Sheila and EJ, they have a FlossTube channel called the Sunshine Stitchers. They're doing monthly sales for specific designers for 2022. January's designer is Nora Corbett, so I may actually be kind of jumping in on that too. I don't know. They have different designers. You can look at their Facebook group and see their events page for the list of the designers and when they're planning on stitching them. Stitchy Quest to Destroy the One Ring. It's based on Lord of the Rings. They're doing a year-long crafting challenge, which is they take basically it's acrostics of the character names from the book The Fellowship of the Ring. So any of the characters in the Fellowship of the Ring, you take their name, either their first name, their last name, or each, and you turn them into acrostic, and you have to match either the pattern name or the designer to the name of the characters, and you have to stitch 200 stitches per letter in their name to be considered complete for that. Let's see, virtual 24 hours of cross stitch. I have not picked out what, or have not looked to see what dates they have. Well, I do have the dates. They have quarterly. They have quarterly weekends where you take 24 hours and stitch for 24 hours over the course of a weekend. It initially started out where on like Friday afternoon through Saturday afternoon, you would stitch for 24 hours straight, but some people have said, I need sleep, I can't just do that. So they take like a Thursday through Sunday, and any time in that Thursday through Sunday block, once a quarter, you stitch for 24 hours, and you just kind of keep in touch with the Facebook group. And I think that's pretty much it. Those are all the ones that I think I am kind of keeping dibs on this year. It seems like a lot, but I'm going to kind of pick and choose what I do. So that is all I really have for you. I decided that I'm not doing no new starts this year. I was talking with Sammy J at the Stitching in the Springs retreat, and there was just some insight that I gained about no new starts. And the more I got to thinking about it, the more the whole premise behind the No New Starts group just wasn't really going to fit with my stitching wants and needs for 2022. I kind of want to be able to work on whatever the hell I want to work on. And I was going to do the 22 projects in 2022 where I was going to tissue box my 60 whips that I have. So like if I had a large whip, you know, I'd work on the large sized whip that I was closest to finishing first. So I could finish that and pull up a new one. Finish that, pull up a new one, or make a new start. And I decided, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that to myself. I don't want to keep it. I don't want to keep my choices streamlined to just certain sized whips. I want to be able to just pick what I want to work on when I want to work on it and not have to worry about it. So I actually decided that I was going to not do No New Starts. So I deleted my posts in the group and I left the groups. It was I think two or three different groups that I was in for that particular Facebook challenge. I'm not knocking the people that can do it. I just decided that for my own sanity this year, and because December was such a hard stitching month for me, and also, I mean, I'm going into, you know, the new year in 4.5 hours without 100% plan of what I want to do for 2022. I don't have, you know, I have a pretty good idea, but I don't have things set in stone starting for tomorrow yet, or starting in 4.5 hours. So I'm just trying to ease everything up, which is one of the reasons why, you know, I'm going to be focusing on only a few challenges. This is my husband, Dylan. He's coming down. Pop in.
Hello.
Hi.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, he says Happy New Year. So, yeah, I'm just trying to kind of see where I'm at and just kind of pick and choose some of the stuff that I want to do this year. Instead of I'm trying to get over my fear of missing out. I have FOMO, you guys. I'm trying to get rid of my fear of missing out and, you know, trying to keep up with everything all the time. And, yeah, so I've just kind of given you some general ideas of some of the, like the annual and the January, events going on in some of the groups. I'm not participating in all of the events that I listed here. I would go crazy. But I'm going to be definitely focusing on one or two groups. Magical Stitches is going to be one of them I focus on. I don't know how much stitching I'm going to be doing for Books and Stitches, but I'm hopefully going to be including some of the reading in that. Stitch Talk Heaven and Earth Design Challenges group, I'm probably going to be doing either the Capital Stitch Journey or the Stitch Across the Galaxy. I'm doing WIPGO 2022. I already have my board. Pop Culture Stitching Challenges. I may pick one or two and stick with it. I'm probably not going to be following along with the Stitchy Quest to Destroy the One Ring. I just haven't been in that. I'm going to wait to see what the Stitching Book Club is going to be announcing for next year tomorrow. And I'll probably be doing Full Coverage Fanatics, Semi-Sane Stitchers, and the Magazine Monthly Challenge. So we have, so here's the ones I'm planning on keeping track of. Sunshine Stitchers, Enchanted, this is in no order. Enchanted Stitching Challenges. Virtual Stitchers in 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. Magazine Monthly Challenges. Semi-Sane Stitchers, Full Coverage Fanatics. Pop Culture Stitching Challenges, International Hermit and Stitch Weekends, WIPGO, Stitch Talk Haid Challenges, Books and Stitches, and Magical Stitches. So I think those are the ones I'm probably going to be focusing on this year. There are hundreds more, and there's new ones popping up all the time. So anyway, that being said, that was long-winded. This is probably going to be an hour. I'm not editing the video. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to add a title screen. I just wanted to come on to you guys today. Wish you guys a very, very, very happy new year wherever you're celebrating. I know some of you are already into the new year. Some of you are sleeping off your celebration already. I hope you guys have a new year, a great new year. I hope it's better than the last two. I am not setting resolutions because resolutions get broken. I have ideas of where I want to go, and I'm going to try and get there. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. If I surpass them, great. One of the other things I hope to do too is I'm looking at a couple of those walking challenges that you can get involved in where they give you medals for participating, where you do your own walking at your own pace and you use their app and it tracks how you walk, and then you get things for, you know, how much you walk, and then you get medal at the end when you complete the course. So I'm hoping to maybe get into some of those to get a little more exercise in and to, you know, be a little healthier. So there's just some stuff. I'd like to read more. I'd like to stitch more. I'd like to track my stitching better. I'd like to be better about keeping track of my stitching projects, information about them, like, you know, the designer, when I start them, what fabric I'm using, blah, 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 blah. I'd like to do more diamond painting. I have quite a few diamond paintings that I need to do. I'd like to do more puzzles, and I'd also like to play video games some more. So I have a lot. Reading is going to be a big one this year for me. Doing more reading. I have a lot of, I don't set New Year's resolutions anymore because I find I wasn't really doing anything with them. So yeah, and just get my planner set up and just deal with the possibility that I'm going back to work in February. I don't want to go back to work, you guys. It is just so much better being able to work from home. So much better. There are days, I admit, there are days when my productivity tanks because I'm like, ooh, look over there. Ooh, look over there. Oh, look that. Oh, I can do that. Oh, what's that? There's days, but I have those days when I'm in the office too. There's just different distractions. You know, I might actually have days in the office when I'm up and talking to people, which means I'm also keeping them from doing work. At least here, it's just me. But I can also stay on later, do more work later at night, come on later in the morning, and work on weekends without having to go into the office. I've been enjoying working from home for basically about the last 2 years. And I kind of don't want to go back to being in an office full time. The COVID scares me, frankly. I also hope to stay healthy, and I also hope to lose some weight. So walking and doing all that will help me next year. So I don't set any New Year's resolutions, but I hope if you do that you're successful. I wish you all the best in 2022. I hope you come back and watch. It'll be exciting to learn to see our progress throughout this new year and just to see where we're going and what we accomplish together. So that being said, I'm going to wish you all a good night. I hope you guys have a very wonderful new year. And we'll see you soon in 2022 because it's only less than 4.5 hours away. It's about 4 hours and 25 minutes away, you guys. At least for me here on the East Coast of the United States. So that being said, hope you have a good one. Take care. Keep on keeping on because that's certainly all we can do. And we'll see you next year. Bye.